or Pittsburgh? We will soon find out. Super Bowl 45. Hello, and thanks for joining us. I am Maria Serrao, joined today by Will Lupardus. Will?
Hello, Maria.
Hey, another beautiful day here at Trump's, and we are talking Super Bowl and, of course, NBA All-Star Game in just a little while.
Yeah, this is one of the busiest months in sports coming up.
It is, yeah, absolutely. And, of course, you know, if you saw our last show, we were giving you all these great predictions about who we thought was going to continue on and who was going to be in the Super Bowl. And one of us was a little better than the other one. Let's take a look.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Let's take a look.
So what's our pick? I think I'm going to say Patriots versus the Packers.
I think that's okay. So you're going to say that for the Patriots Packers, and I'm going to say Patriots Falcons.
Okay.
All right. So we'll see who's right, because clearly one of us will be wrong. So. Yeah. Well, you have to be able to laugh at yourself, Will, because at least one of us was half right. You had Green Bay in there. You know?
I can't laugh too hard. I got one right.
Not so much. You know, it was amazing to me that the Jets did in fact go into New England. Mm-hmm. They beat Tom Brady. They beat Peyton Manning the week before, but they couldn't beat Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people had Pittsburgh coming out of the AFC to go to the Super Bowl, but Rudy Tomjanovich,
yes,
old Houston Rockets coach,
that's
he
right.
said never underestimate the heart of a champion.
And Ben Roethlisberger, and Pittsburgh has got such an amazing lineage of winning, and just from the top down, I mean, their ownership is just stellar, and it seems like every year, you can just go back, what, 45 years now? Pittsburgh has just stayed steady, and they have a very good team again.
Green Bay as well.
Green Bay as well. They won the first Super Bowl.
People are talking about the Super Bowl as kind of a old college rivalry.
They are.
Because it's such an old, I mean, both teams, I don't think they've ever met in the Super Bowl.
They've never met in the Super Bowl. And
they've
said
been in it many times.
Right, and they've two of the most popular teams that we've seen just throughout, like you said, throughout history, and now they're playing each other. So it's kind of like, you know, the Bears and Green Bay was like a great rivalry. It was fun to see that game, even though, you know, it was kind of a difficult game for the Bears. But again, like you said, you've got two teams that have just great history behind them.
Yeah, it's a blue collar. It's going to be a hard fight.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be a very hard fight. That is absolutely for sure. You know, it's interesting. Following up to the Super Bowl, we're going to talk about the Jets a little bit, because they were kind of that underdog team. But again, the second straight year they get, you know, out in this game. This year, though, I was a little surprised that they waited so long to jump out in that game. The first half was really nothing going on. I mean, they just couldn't get anything together.
It looks like Pittsburgh's defense is one of the best in the NFL,
right.
And I don't think the players or the coaching staff knew kind of what to throw at them. So they just went ahead for the passing game, and literally that's what they threw at them.
They did.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
but
no pun intended.
They couldn't. I don't think they wanted to face that Pittsburgh defensive wall.
Yeah.
And you know, get stopped early on. So they took their chances, and it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. And you know, Rex Ryan, I do like him as a coach, but in the end of that game, when they did start to come back and they were making a run at it, then they start running the ball in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left. It's too late at that point.
That's all they could do.
He should have started running the ball in the first quarter. I didn't understand that. You know?
I didn't either. But like I said, I think they knew what they were up against defensively.
Yeah, it was too little, too late.
So they had to throw the ball. They had to take chances.
Yeah, you know, and going back to the Green Bay-Chicago matchup, there's been so much talk. You know, we were talking about that game going in, and so much talk about the quarterback getting hurt and not playing in the game. You know, and Jay Cutler, he was injured, and he was sitting on the sideline, and people were tweeting from other teams. They said players were tweeting saying that he wasn't a gamer, he wasn't trying, and I don't know if you saw the Brian Urlacher interview after the game, and he said, you know, I was walking behind him going back for the second half. He could barely walk. So it's so unfair for people that aren't playing in the game to be tweeting and making comments that the guy's not a gamer.
Yeah, I also heard Urlacher say in a press conference after a reporter told him that players were tweeting about Cutler. He said, oh, you mean players that are sitting at home?
Oh, yeah, on their couch watching.
That didn't make it to this game?
Yeah.
Well, they're jealous of, you know, that they're not playing right now, which I think is a little bit true. And
I think
tweeting just causes an environment of animosity and people kind of, you know, taking ribs at one another. But that's the NFL.
Yeah, it is.
That's what makes it exciting, and it's another way to kind of make people just that much more ready to, you know, hit each other next season. You
know, I think it's a little abusive in sports. I think that some of these people are just abusing the whole Twitter thing a little too much. I mean, I think it's great, it's fun, it's all that, but you know what? Not when you're bashing another guy and you have no idea what's going on.
I agree.
You know,
it's entertainment, but
that's
I mean, Cutler, who knows if he's injured or not? He decided not to go in.
Right. Well, and he had surgery last week, so there was some kind of injury going on. They don't usually give you surgery, Will, if you don't need it.
And if you
unless it's plastic
have
surgery.
a chance to go to the Super Bowl, you're not going to be riding a bike on the sidelines. You're going to be throwing the ball. So I think the guy's hurt.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Now, Aaron Rodgers against Ben Roethlisberger. Now, here is a thing that just blows my mind. The Packers are 2.5 points favorites in this game. I thought the Steelers would be favored in this game.
I think it's the youth and the drive. I mean, even though they were a sixth seed in the NFC.
They were.
Steelers ended up being two?
They were the
second seed?
They won their division. They won the division.
Yeah.
And they already have 6 Super Bowls behind them. And I cannot believe they're not favored.
But it's the team playing right now, and I think Green Bay's got the most momentum.
Now,
Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback, most probably highly ranked quarterback at the beginning of the season.
And you know what's going to be really interesting about this is if Aaron Rodgers pulls this off, the whole Brett Favre story is going to be gone, because right now it's can he step into Brett Favre's shoes and win a Super Bowl? Of course, we know Brett could.
He'll be the new Brett Favre.
He will be Green Bay's new Brett Favre. Do you think that people that are fans of Green Bay that still hold on to the Brett Favre, do you think they'll finally accept him if he wins a Super Bowl?
Rodgers or Favre?
Yes, Rodgers.
Of course. He'll be a Super Bowl champ.
So that's what he's going to have to do to really be accepted, I think.
Yeah, and plus the Steelers' defense, I mean, for years, right? For how many? 30, 40 years, Steelers have been the epitome of NFL defense.
That's it.
So
Always.
if Rodgers can,
Steel curtain.
you know, get past that steel curtain,
it's going to be tough.
Then he'll be not just a champ, but like a national hero to get past that, because the Steelers haven't been defeated in a Super Bowl, and I don't know when.
No, and isn't it amazing when you think of Green Bay? It's this little tiny town on the map, and the whole town basically owns the Green Bay Packers, which I love. I love that about them, and just an amazing fan base everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. It's
Except Pittsburgh this week.
Except Pittsburgh, yeah, that's good. Actually, you know, they're both going to Dallas, and even though people will travel, I don't think anybody in Dallas would root for any of these two teams. I'm just throwing it out there. You never know.
Dallas Cowboys fan.
You know,
right?
We're going to get them next year, right? Right?
Yeah, where's the Super Bowl next year?
Yeah, we got to come back.
In Pittsburgh?
In Indianapolis, actually. Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? In Pittsburgh.
For your case, I hope that the Cowboys are in Indianapolis this time next year.
Me too. I really hope they're not tweeting on their couch, and I really hope that they're going to be in Indianapolis. Okay, now, of course, everybody has Super Bowl parties, because I think it's the #1 day, except for maybe your birthday, that you have a party, right?
Right.
Okay, so here at Trump's, they're going to have an amazing party, and I caught up with David Conforti, general manager here at Trump's, to talk all about the Super Bowl party right here. Let's take a look.